Welcome to the Muxall Open IoT channel. I am your host, Michael Crane. In today's video, we are going to look at an IEC power cable I found in my pile of cables that unfortunately is a fake. This cable is supposed to be a 120 volt, 6 amp, 3 conductor power cable with a ground. But this cable has no ground. There's something missing. It doesn't have a ground. Even though the connectors at each end have pins for the ground. So, 2 conductor power cables without a ground are common, so don't get me wrong. For example, most flat screen TVs use 2 conductor power cables. However, this cable is very dangerous because it misleads the user into believing that the cable has a real, proper earth ground, when it doesn't. Let me point out, so as you can see, it's got a white, a common, a black hot, and a green ground, right? So, yeah. So, why do we need an earth ground on some appliances and not others? Well, I Googled around, and basically the easiest answer is if there is a possibility of an electrical short in a device that could cause an electrical shock resulting in a fire or death, then it needs a ground. And I'll put up some of the other reasons that popped up in my Google search here. So since I found these 2 fake cables in my pile of cables, I'm guessing I got them from cheap AC to DC power supplies. Usually when I trash an old, not being used power supply, I keep the IEC cable for use somewhere else because they're very universal, right? So I don't remember where I got this cable from, otherwise I'd call the company out. So all I can do is put out this warning and show you how to identify these fakes, okay? So how do we identify fake IEC cables? Well, the first way is to check if an IEC cable has a real ground or not, is to perform a continuity test. This will require a continuity tester or ohm meter or something like that. And this will ensure that all the pins are connected to the proper wires and pins on the other end, right? The ground pin is the pin on the bottom of these IEC connectors and on the bottom of the 3-prong plug, okay? Here in the US anyway. So the second way is to look at the cable itself. Cables are usually manufactured by a third-party company and sold by the foot or meter on spools, large spools, to other manufacturers that chop up the cable and use them in their products. So the identifying markings on the cable itself are not necessarily from the manufacturer of the IEC power cable, and it can also help us identify what is inside the cable. All right. So the markings on the cable in most cases identify 1, how many conductors are in the cable, and 2, the gauge of the conductors. The markings on our cable says that there are 2 conductors with a cross area of 0.75 millimeters squared, or square millimeters. That's a big red flag right there. So the cable says it's only a 2 conductor, right? So here's a picture of a proper power cable that I found digging around in my pile. As you can see, it says it has 3 by 3 times 0.825 square millimeters, and they were kind enough to translate it to the American wire gauge of 18 for us folks here in the US. No, and I think that's about 10 amps or something like that. I think it even says 10 amps on the wire. So excellent. So that's a good one, and the previous one was a bad one. So, and so there are UL markings on the fake cable, but I guarantee that Underwriters Laboratory did not certify this power cable with a missing ground wire. So anyway, caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments in this video. I'll be more than happy to answer anything you have, or if you need help identifying a wire, feel free to shoot me a message. And I'll see you guys later. Be careful.
Don't forget, you can support the Muxall Open IoT channel by donation using a credit card and PayPal, or by purchasing products at the Muxall store. Details and links are in the description under this video. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up, that helps, and hit the subscribe button, that really helps. If you have any questions or comments, post them in the comments under this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.